Thomas had just returned from the works following his accident with the station master's house. "You look a new engine," Toby commented as Thomas went to collect his coaches. "Why, thank you," Thomas responded, assured. "How's the new engine?" As I'm sure you know, a diesel railcar had arrived in Thomas's absence. "She's a handful," Toby laughed. Annie and Clarabelle's faces soured. "She insulted us," they moaned, and Annie and Clarabelle told Thomas of Daisy's first day. "Did she now?" responded Thomas. "Well, I say," he began, offended on their behalf. "I'd put her in her place, given the chance." Toby simply chuckled. Ever since being scolded by the Fat Controller, Daisy had kept her head down and she did her work as instructed. She knew better now than to be lazy. One day, she was resting in the shed when Toby pulled into the station. "I must say," he started, "you've done a fine job with your work over these past few weeks." This was high praise from Toby indeed. "I'm impressed," he continued. "Keep up the good work." Daisy only mustered up a mere "thank you" as Toby trundled away, but his words soon got to her head. Only days later was she boasting at the sheds. "You know," she said. "Know what?" Thomas puzzled. "I really am a fine sort of engine. No fussing about with coaches," she bragged. "I serve a dual purpose." "Whatever," dismissed Thomas. "Our coaches are far more reliable than you'll ever be." "Pah! I heard about your attitude. It seems to me..." Thomas trailed off as Daisy purred away, pretending not to hear. Later that day, Daisy was running a passenger service to Farquhar. There's a stretch of the branch that crosses over the River Ells. The river is popular with the local boys, who enjoy skipping stones in it after school. On this day in particular, they thought it'd be fun to throw their stones at passing engines. As Daisy made her way along the line, the boys gathered behind some bushes and they launched the stones. They had only thrown a few before crack! Something had broke. It was one of Daisy's windows. "Ugh!" Daisy cried. The boys, realizing what they had done, scampered away before they could be reprimanded. Daisy's driver went to inspect the situation and reported back to her some time later. "Well, we can't continue like this. It's not safe," he said. "We haven't another engine to pull the train. We'll just have to go back to Elsbridge and fetch ourselves some coaches." Daisy knew what this meant. "But," she protested, "I'm afraid there's nothing else that can be done about it," her driver concluded. And that was that. Soon, the diesel railcar made her way back to the station and was coupled to Annie and Clarabelle. Subsequently, all of her passengers were moved into the coaches. Annie and Clarabelle only smirked, opting not to say a word. Though, if you were to ask Daisy, the silence was deafening. She departed Elsbridge for the second time and had no further issues. That is until she spotted a red signal. It was the part of the line where the branch merged into a single track. "Why have we stopped? Shouldn't we have priority?" "Due to our little delay, we're going to have to wait for Thomas," her driver responded. As if on cue, a whistle was heard in the distance. From around the bend came Thomas with a stone train. He passed Daisy with a grin, then gave Annie and Clarabelle a knowing look. Nothing had to be said. Daisy's face said all too much.